NBA free agency has come and gone, and today we're going to be talking about the 5 teams that I believe won this past week of NBA free agency. Let's get ready. And first, we're going to be starting off with the Los Angeles Lakers. They went out and signed Gabe Vincent from the Miami Heat, who a lot of people would say his coming out party was this past postseason, where he had big plays, and at times you could argue was the Heat's second best player alongside Jimmy Butler or Caleb Martin. One of the big things that was for the Los Angeles Lakers was getting another shot creator and another ball handler outside of LeBron, and Gabe Vincent does that. The 3-year deal for him, I think, will be good for both sides. It allows Gabe Vincent at free agency again in 3 years, and allows the Lakers during the final years of what a lot of people expect to be the LeBron-AD duo, and gives them, like I previously stated, another shot creator and someone that can hit the big shot, and that's another player that LeBron and Anthony Davis can trust down the clutch. And speaking of Anthony Davis, another big signing that I think people are overlooking was Jackson Hayes, who allows Anthony Davis to what he wants to do and play the 4 at times, and also allows the Lakers another big body where they don't have to rely on AD at the 5, and hopefully for their sake can prevent injuries going forward for Anthony Davis. And what seemed like a long chase, the Lakers finally get their guy in Cam Reddish, who a lot of people like and still believe in his potential. I am one of those guys. I think the Lakers are a perfect team for him, as he will provide spacing, and if he can just lock in and accept a 3-and-D role, he will be a perfect fit alongside the Lakers stars and even Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura. And the Lakers also got Taurean Prince, who is another good 3-and-D guy, and as LeBron has had in the past in every great team that he's been on, those are the type of guys that you need. And Taurean Prince is what I like to call an 82-game guy, which is just someone that can get you through the regular season, and we'll see how much he does play in the playoffs, but he's just one of those guys that everyone needs on their roster. And now we're getting to who the Lakers re-signed. They re-signed Rui Hachimura. I know a lot of people were kind of surprised at the $17 million per year that he's getting, but it's only a 3-year deal, and he fit perfectly alongside those guys. The Lakers also kept Austin Reeves, and it's looking like they want to play more and focus more through him on the offense and at the point guard position, which I think is smart for them, as Austin Reeves has a lot of potential, and it's just one of those guys that no matter what's thrown his way, he does deliver and shows that he is worth more on his plate. They also kept D'Angelo Russell. It's only a 2-year deal. I'm not a big D'Lo fan, but I understand the deal, and like I said, it keeps another shot creator, and all else fails, you can trade him down the road. Second team we're going to talk about is the Milwaukee Bucks. And first, they brought in Robin Lopez, who, if anything, will just give us some good laughs as an NBA community, and is one of those guys that I talked about earlier, 82-game guy. Second off, they brought in Malik Beasley from the Lakers, who will provide spacing for Giannis, and it's just a really good 3. And it goes back to 3-and-D players, and he's just a really good one. And I think that's a very good pickup for Milwaukee, and will prove dividends to them going not just in the season, but especially in the playoffs. And then nobody's surprised. They bring back Chris Middleton, who opted out of his deal, to get a longer deal. And if you're Milwaukee, you obviously do that. Good for them. And to a lot of people's surprise, they also brought back Brook Lopez. To me, not so much. I never thought Brook was going to leave in his later years in the NBA. He's gotten paid, so obviously keep ring chasing. And he got a nice deal as well. And just goes back to more spacing for Giannis, Chris Middleton, and Jrue Holiday. And keeping Brook in Milwaukee was huge for that organization. My third winner is the Phoenix Suns. They bring in Yuta Watanabe, who can stretch the floor, shot over 50% from corner threes. And as everyone thinks, that was a Kevin Durant signing, him and KD are close. Second, they get Eric Gordon. And if you're a Suns fan or know anything, it's 10 years in the making, as the Suns wanted him back when he was a restricted free agent in 2013, and they get their guy 10 years later, who I think will obviously stretch the floor for KD, Book, and Beal, and be a key contributor off the bench, and especially come playoff time. And the guy that can fight for that 5th playoff spot, in my opinion, is Bates Diop, who is long, can defend a little bit, but is best known for his shot making. I think being in Phoenix around those guys that I mentioned earlier, Bradley, and KD, can do wonders for him, and I think he will continue to grow as a player. The Suns let Jock Landale leave to bring in Drew Eubanks, who is sneaky athletic and is a good screen setter. And I think that's a very underrated role in basketball today, especially in the NBA, when you have guys like Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, and Devin Booker. And I think that he can push DeAndre Ayton as well as Suns fans saw with Aaron Baines. The Suns also brought in Metu, who, as I alluded to earlier multiple times already, is an 82-game guy. Get you through the season. I'm curious to see how much he does play down in the crunch time and come playoff time. The Suns also brought back Josh Okogie, who I think will end up being the 5th starter. He's just a really good defender, and with Frank Vogel's system, I think he fits next to DeAndre Ayton, Book, Beal, and KD as the starter. The Suns also brought back Damian Lee, another 82-game guy, get you through the season, and can space the floor. He played a little bit in the playoffs last year, had a couple key moments, but I'm curious to see how much he does actually end up being a key contributor and role player for the Suns team this upcoming season. My 4th winner is the Cleveland Cavaliers. They needed shooting, desperately surrounding Evan Mobley, Donovan Mitchell, and Darius Garland, and they did that. The Max Strus contract is big, but with NBA media rights, cap constantly going up, it's going to not look too terrible in a year or two. They also brought in Georges Niang, who will also stretch the floor. Lethal knockdown shooter. When he's open, you can guarantee the 3 points already. Cleveland didn't do too much in terms of quantity, but they got very quality role players to surround their big 3 and continue to push and build around a backcourt of Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland. My 5th and final winner is the Indiana Pacers. They went and got Bruce Brown on a 2-year deal. The 2nd year is a team option, so it's essentially an expiring contract if things go sideways this offseason and they can trade him. But like a lot of people, I think the Pacers make that jump this year, and Bruce Brown is the perfect player to put next to a Tyrese Halliburton and Miles Turner and Buddy Hield. And they traded for Obi Toppin, who, yes, isn't a free agent, but I'm counting this. I'm not the biggest Obi fan, to be honest, but he gives Hallie that lob threat. And if you watch the Knicks last year at all, there were times where he would be open in the dunker spot, and people would just miss him. Whether it be anyone from RJ, like I know there's a clip that everyone has seen of Halliburton's Obi Toppin is literally jumping up and down because he's wide open, and RJ just does not pass him the ball. Hallie will not miss him on those, and he gives him a lob threat. And it just makes the Pacers a more fun team to watch. You have the spacing of Buddy Hield with Bruce Brown. You got the defender and the role player that can do everything, the dirty work. You have Miles Turner, who can stretch the floor from the 3, block the shots. Halliburton's going to get his 20 and 12. And then you have Obi Toppin, who can go over the top for lobs. I think the Pacers are a sneaky team this year for League Pass teams because I think they will be good. They will be a playoff team. And with the addition of Bruce Brown and Obi Toppin, that just raises their floor as a team and as a unit. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe. And let me know in the comments who your guys' winners of free agency was.